A few months ago, Reuters published a big report showing that there are at least 3,000 other cities, locations, water sources in the United States that are more heavily poisoned with lead than Flint, Michigan. Now, these are not areas that are equal to the lead level pollution in Flint, Michigan. 3,000 places where the lead levels are more than those in Flint, Michigan. Most of them listed in the Reuters report are actually double at least what we've seen in Flint, Michigan. So this Reuters report, in addition to what's happened in Flint, Michigan, has finally put the issue of water safety, water contamination into the American lexicon for the last 12 months. We're finally focusing on water. But here's the problem. It's not just about contamination. And again, the Reuters study, what we've seen in Flint, Michigan, mostly looking for lead. They're not testing for other heavy metals like mercury. They're not testing for arsenic. They're not testing for pharmaceutical residue, all things which do make their way into the water supply and have adverse health effects on the human populations. Again, small part of the picture there is the water contamination. Because according to a new report from Michigan State University, in less than 5 years, we will be praying to have the opportunity to drink this dirty water. This new MSU report shows that because of the increasing water rates around the country and stagnant incomes across the country, within 5 years, more than 35 million Americans will be completely priced out of the water system. That means in less than 5 years, more than 35 million American citizens will no longer be able to afford water service in their home. Will not be able to afford water. 10% of the United States population won't be able to afford water. Now, I repeat that several times because that should be the biggest headline in this country right now. Not Donald Trump getting inaugurated, not Donald Trump tweeting something, not Democrats still fighting with each other, not Bernie Sanders doing something. By the end of Trump's administration, we could be looking at 10% of the population in the United States that can't get water. The basic building block of all life on this planet. You know, if this was a story coming out of, a third world country, we wouldn't be surprised. But this is America. We're supposed to be the richest, wealthiest, most powerful nation in the world, and we're only a few years away from 90% of our population getting all the water and 10% dehydrating. And here's the other problem with it. Resource scarcity breeds conflict. It's happened all over the globe since the very first days of human existence. Resource scarcity breeds conflict. When one group has something that another group needs but doesn't have, they will take it. Now, they can do it diplomatically if one group is willing to, and if not, they take it by force. That is a very real possibility within the next 5 years. And the reason for this scarcity, again, according to the MSU report, water rates continue to rise. They're going to rise even further if privatization plans in the United States continue to go through, where cities are beginning to privatize their water supplies. Prices go through the roof at that point, sometimes doubling or tripling. On top of that, we're wasting trillions of gallons of water every year due to ruptured pipes within our aging water infrastructure system. And on top of that, we have all of the droughts and water contamination brought to us by climate change, making clean water even more scarce, raising rates because there's more demand than there is supply. Basic economics there. 10% of the U.S. population will be priced out of the water system within the next 5 years if things stay constant. We could change this. But considering the new makeup of the White House, the House of Representatives, and the U.S. Senate, and state governments across this country now being controlled by Republicans at an alarming rate, there will be no change. So get ready, start bottling it up, because if this MSU report is accurate, we're less than 5 years away from a major water crisis in the United States. And the worst part is, nobody's talking about it.